guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you my Naked palette, and this one is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. I was super excited whenever I got it a few days ago, and I'm very excited to show you the look that I came up with. I'm gonna get into detail, like super into detail, because I'm sure you guys have seen it, but these colors are beautiful. Now, I wasn't sure if I was into getting it because I'm not a huge fan of smoky eyes. If you have eyes like me, you probably have the issue with colors looking the same no matter what. So this palette has a lot of cool tones, and a lot of these are off black. They're kind of grayish. You have a purple in there. I kid you not. These two to me just look exactly the same. Now, I didn't try every single color in here yet, but I created 3 looks, you guys. So here's what happened. What I did is I did my makeup 2 times. Not my whole makeup, but my eyeshadow look 2 times without eyeliner or anything, so it wasn't too complicated. But what I do first, obviously, is I do my eyeshadow so that way I don't get fallout, and that's what I did. I was doing my eyeshadow and I had already my eyebrows done, and I removed it 2 times. Why? Because the eyeshadows look the same. So the very first time you use a brand new palette, you're so excited and you want to love it. I didn't. I was already thinking maybe I should return it because, first of all, I'm not into smoky eyes. Even though I really wanted the palette and I wanted to try it, I'm not into smoky eyes. I don't wear them all the time, and it's kind of hard because of the way my eye shape is. So I did that look. I didn't like it. I was trying to convince myself that it was fine, but I was like, no, it's not. I took it off. Here is my little tissue or my little makeup cleaner that I use. I know it's gross, right? Why did I show you? But I took it off, and then I did it again, and I took it off because it was the same thing. It looked exactly the same. I couldn't distinguish the colors that I had on my eyes. I couldn't tell if it was Dagger, Black Market, Smolder. Like, they looked exactly the same. And what I wanted to do was a nice smoky eye with the gray in here, with the silver there. It did not work out, especially whenever I used shimmer with shimmer. I tried to use this brown shade right here in one of my attempts, and then I tried to use Password and Whiskey towards the outside. Total fail. It didn't work out for me. I also tried using Smolder, and I tried using this one all over my eyelid. Those two are shimmers. It was a huge mess. It just didn't work out for me at all. So I said, okay, I'm going to try a matte only look, and that is what I did. That's what I have right now. And honestly, you guys, I feel like the colors that I used are part of the Naked Basics. They just look similar. I don't have those palettes. I'm just saying that the colors are very similar. The colors that I ended up using are these last 3. Now, these last 3 shades I have in many other palettes. I have the Naked 1, 2, and 3. So I don't know if the palette is worth it for me. I'm gonna keep playing with it. This one I tried to use all over the eyelid, and I need like some type of spray or maybe glitter primer. That way it looks shimmery because I apply it and then the shimmer goes away. I don't know. It's just one of those eyeshadows that you can't get like a nice shimmer on your eye. It keeps falling out or it keeps fading away. It's just one of those shades. This shade, on the other hand, worked out fine on my eyelid, but whenever I applied Black Market on the outer corner, both of them were shimmer and they didn't work out for me at all. So what you're gonna see in the tutorial is me getting into detail about what I did on my eye look and why I did it. It is going to be a kind of long tutorial. I'm going to get into detail. I'm going to explain. I hope you guys understand that it is going to be a little long. I normally like to do short tutorials because, you know, not everybody wants to spend a whole hour watching a video. But I want to get into detail just because I understand that some people have eyes like mine, the eye shape that I have, and other people have, well, everybody has different eye shapes. So I want to show you, if you have your eyes like mine, a way that you can do a smoky eye and it'll work out for you. It'll look dark on the outside, it'll be smoked out just like it is on mine. And it's kind of hard, and I have done different looks. I have tried different things. I have tried different eyeshadows. I have tried so many things in order to come up with looks for my eyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. That's what's coming up next, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, you guys, I completely forgot. I did want to show you a couple of swatches just so you can get an idea. Whenever I swatched this at the store, because I was not convinced that I wanted to get it for sure, because like I said, I'm not into the smoky look all the time, I swatched the colors and I was so surprised. I'm like, I have to have it. So I'm going to show you some swatches. I'm going to show you the first 4. And trust me, the colors are beautiful. They have great pigmentation and they're gorgeous. But you have a lot of shimmer, you don't have you have a lot of shimmer, you don't have a lot of mattes in here. Those are the first 4. They're very nice. I mean, they're shimmery, they're pigmented, they look really nice. Although this very first one didn't show up as I thought it would. All right, so these are the 4 that are after those. So these are the next 4, that's what I meant to say. They're up there. I know it's so weird the way that I am swatching these, but my hands are not very big and there's a lot of shades in here. And these are the last 4. So there you go. Of course, whenever you have a primer, I'm pretty sure it's going to look a lot better. It did for me. So this is the way that they look. I know it looks kind of light. I'm very light and those last 4 colors are pretty light unless you build them up. And of course, this palette also comes with the double-ended brush. Okay, so this is the smoky look that I came up with, and like I told you guys already, I tried a few things. So the first thing that I'm going to do is prime my eyelids, and I'm going to be using the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that all over my lid, from my lid all the way to my brow bone. Brush, I'm going to pick up the color Combust, and I'm going to be using that as my transition shade. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply it around my crease, above my crease. I'm not going all the way up to my brow bone, but I'm getting very, very close. And I'm also not doing it too much on the bottom, but if you do, it's not a big deal because we're going to cover that up a little bit. So you just want to blend that out, do it in circular motion, and just go in towards the inner corner and all the way towards the outside. So the next color that I'm going to use is 13, and that's the very last shade. It's the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm going to apply that as my brow bone and also on my eyelid. I'm going to go back and forth just a little bit. And now I'm going to get to the dark shade that I'm going to be using, and I'm only going to be using one dark shade. That one is the color Whiskey, which is the 3rd to the last. And this is the part where it gets a little tricky for me. There's not a lot of looks that I can do or that'll look good. I mean, I of course can do many and I can apply many colors, but a lot of the times once I open my eye, it looks like one color all over my eyelid. Like I didn't even do anything different, like everything looks the same. So this is where I got the idea of doing something a little bit different. So if your eyes are similar to mine, I hope this helps you out. So I'm gonna do that next. I'm just gonna pick that up with this small fluffy brush. This one's by e.l.f. and it's just one of their blending eye brushes. So I'm gonna pick that up, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start on the bottom corner, and I'm going to lightly just blend it towards the inner part and towards the outer part. So I'm kind of going to do a small circle because I don't want to go too much towards the inside. And little by little, I'm going to build up the color. So I'm going to keep doing that. That's as much as I'm gonna go in. I'm not gonna do any more. Later on, I'm gonna blend it so it's gonna look smoky, but for now, that's as much as I'm gonna go in towards my inner part of my eye. And then what I'm gonna do is go diagonal. So if your eyes are like mine, this is the part that I'm telling you that might work and that hopefully will help you out, is go up. Go up at an angle though. So as you can see, I'm going up at an angle, and I know it's probably a weird way to apply eyeshadow, but I promise you that it made a big difference because I tried to do different things like I just told you and it wasn't working. So go up. So now as you can see there, it is like a crooked triangle. It's not blended. I just want to show you the way that it looks. So now that we have our little crooked triangle, what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit more color, just a tiny bit, because what I'm going to do now is go in. Now, First of all, I want to tell you, go towards like the end of your eyebrow. So don't go too high because it's gonna look weird and it's not gonna look right. So depending on your eye, depending on how long they are, whatever it is, just go towards the end of your eyebrow. And then what you want to do is go in very lightly, but do not do it in your crease. Whenever you do it in your crease and your eyes are like mine, it makes them look small and the colors just don't look different. You don't get a different effect. So again, we're gonna go in, and you don't want to put a lot of color because you're gonna blend it out and you just don't want to put too much. You kind of want it to look faded, and over here once you blend it out you can't really see it that much, but it still creates that nice shadow that makes it seem like you have the crease a little bit higher so that you have more lid space, just to make your look a little bit different. So again, as you can see, here is my bone right here, and I'm not putting, normally someone would probably put this color in the crease. They have a lot of lid space. I pretty much have more up here. So if I were to do it down here, all my eyeshadow will be down here, and I want to do different looks. So again, just put it where the bone is, right there. Go in a little bit and back out. That is it. You don't want to do it any darker. So now I'm going to pick up a little bit more and darken this area up, because once you start blending that out, it's going to fade a little bit. So that is it for this crazy look as for the brown. So what you want to do first is blend in this part right here. And now there you go. It doesn't look very harsh. And just blend up in a circular motion. Just keep blending until you see that it looks nice and faded and nice and blended, pretty much. Okay, so that is it, blending it out. Now it's very much faded because I have to blend out a lot in order to take off that triangle. Now it's not too faded, it's probably a little bit washed out on the camera, but what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit more of that same color, which is the color Whiskey, and just reapply it where I applied it the first time, pretty much on the outer part. And I'm not going to go in again with it or anything, just on the outer part, and then blend that out again. Now, one of the things that I have to tell you guys is don't be afraid to get outside of your eyelid. So that was one of the things that would stop me from doing different things, is I would try to concentrate and stay on my eyelid. Don't be afraid to go out a tiny bit more. What I'm gonna do now is get the lightest shade again and just apply it on my eyelid one more time, just to make sure that it looks bright enough. Now I'm just gonna go in, blend that out a little bit. That is it for the eyeshadow. I know it doesn't look very dark, and there's not a lot to it. I didn't use a lot of colors. It was not complicated. But notice how my eyeshadow looks. Now here it looks dark on the outside. Why? Because I'm not only playing with the eyeshadow to make a smoky look, I'm also incorporating the eyeliner that I'm going to use, the eyelashes, the mascara, to make my eyes appear the way that I have it visioned in my mind. Because if I don't do this, then all of my looks are gonna look exactly the same. So again, I hope I am helping you guys out with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the eyeliner. The eyeliner that I'm gonna use is NYC liquid eyeliner. It doesn't have a specific name, it's just a very dark black eyeliner. And it looks shiny once you apply it, or it looks shiny whenever you apply it, but then it dries to a complete matte. So now I'm gonna apply the eyeliner. What I'm gonna do is, because I don't wanna talk while I'm applying the eyeliner, is make it thick on the outside. So you're gonna see that right now. So right now that my eyeliner is drying, my liquid eyeliner, I did get a little spot down there, but it'll blend out once I apply the eyeliner that I'm going to use on my waterline. What I'm going to do next is apply my falsies, and the ones that I always use are natural ones because I have very small eyes. So if you do too, this will probably help you. If you wear very thick ones, your eyes are gonna look like they're closed or they're heavy. You're not gonna get that lifted effect on the outer part of your eyes, and that's what I wanna achieve, because my eyes don't go up that much, but they don't go down. So whenever I apply falsies and I apply them too thick, it just makes my eyes look heavy. So what I'm gonna do is just apply these very natural looking eyelashes. My eyelash is drying. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a black eyeliner on the waterline. Next, what I'm gonna do is apply mascara. I'm using the Roller Lash Mascara, and I'm gonna do my lower lashes. Eyelash is still drying, so it probably looks a little white or a little weird, glossy, whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and work out my lower lash line, and then this is just a very simple part. What I'm gonna do is apply the color that I applied on the outer corner of my eye, and that's the color Whiskey. And I want this to look kind of like a shadow. I don't want it to be too dark, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna apply just little, I'm just gonna dab it just like that. I was actually supposed to apply that before I put on the mascara, but I forgot. So that's all I did. I just applied the brown shadow on the bottom part, and that is it. I blended it out at the same time, so that way I don't have to go back in, because I don't want raccoon eyes. So the last thing that I'm gonna do is apply the color High, and that is the very first shade in this palette. It's very glittery, and I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit right here in the inner corner. This is my take on a very simple smoky eye, and I do want to mention that it is pretty much for someone who has eyes like mine. I was gonna say small eyes, but I wouldn't say that my eyes are super small, and I wouldn't say that I don't have any eyelid space. I really do. It's just that I have very minimal amount of lid space under my crease. So I know it sounds kind of weird, but if you are into makeup and you want to try looks but your eyes are similar to mine and your looks end up looking the same all the time, I really recommend you try this little trick I showed you. And also I want to show you the colors that I used, because I know maybe you don't have the palette, and if you want to recreate the look, you can just get something very similar. The shades were nothing that were definitely different from anything else. You can definitely find them at a store. So the colors that I used were these three at the end. As you can see, it's just a dark brown. This one's just a nude transition color, and this one's a very light color that I used on my eyelid. And then I used this one for the inner corner, which was just a tiny amount that I used on the inner corner just to give myself a little sparkle. And yes, the tutorial was pretty long, but that's just because I want to give you details on what I'm doing. And I know that some people don't like very long tutorials, but for this look, because I had such a hard time with the palette, I wanted to get into detail with what I did in order to make this palette work. I love the palette. The palette is great. It has great pigmentation, but I gotta say that whenever I apply some of these colors, it's probably just because of my eyes, they end up mixing together and looking the same. They're mainly shimmer, so shimmer and shimmer mixed together on my eyes, it just makes it look all gray or all black or whatever these colors are. See that this one looks a little purple. This one's a gray one. This one looks, you know, an off black. This one looks like a dark gray. Girl, whenever I applied these, they looked the same to me. So, and I gotta say, even these two looked pretty similar on my eyes, but I ended up going with the brown because it wasn't so harsh, and I didn't know if it was gonna work out or not. So it was just a look that I was trying out. I was like, okay, this is my third attempt. Hopefully third time's a charm, and I'm gonna try it with brown because I had already tried the gray colors in here. And luckily, I like the look that I came up with. I think it looks nice. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I also hope you enjoyed my video. Again, if you want to see looks or pictures on this look or other looks that I do, you can also follow me on Instagram. So if you like these type of videos, make sure to subscribe to see them, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!